crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. So happy you could join us today. We will be creating a 3-layered framed card for you. I think you're really going to like it. You know, when you really need something special but you don't have a lot of time, this card really makes a statement. So let's head down to the crafting table and let me share with you our thought for the day. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind. And I think as crafters, we can really choose to be kind with our cards that we give, right? So let's go ahead and get started with our card for today. Let me show you what it's going to look like. Here is a very similar card that we're going to make, but we're going to use different DSP. Now remember, you can also create your own background, and at the end of this video, we have several cards to show you where we have done just that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get your base card, and that's 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now you need to select your DSP that you're going to use to cut this 3-layered framed card, and we decided to go ahead and get this beautiful DSP, and this is from the Dandy Garden from Stampin' Up. Isn't that beautiful? Now I want to show you a little trick that I used with my rectangular stitched dies. Look what I've done here to make it easier. You need to select the frames that you want and how far you want to space them apart, and then just go ahead and line them up on a piece of paper and use your painter's tape to hold them in place, and that way you don't have to worry about them slipping around. So let me go ahead and select which way I want this paper to be. Now I'm going to create a landscape card, and so you need to take that into consideration when you're cutting your DSP, right? So we know it wants to be just like this. So when I go to cut this, I need to put the frames this way, landscape. So let me cut this in our die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is right out of the die cutting machine. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop these frames out, trying to keep them in exactly the same position. Because when you make your card, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally turn them a separate way. Okay, and as you can see, right here, let's see, that's not the right way, so I need to turn it until I get it just how we need it. So I'm going to keep this just like this because later on I'm going to make another card. So we have our cutouts, and we're going to bring in our base card, and the first one that we put down we're going to glue down because we want it flat against the card. So let's get out our Tombow glue, and let's use our silicone mat so that we don't get glue everywhere, and get some glue down. Less is best, right? You don't need a lot of glue. Now on the next one, we want to raise it up on dimensionals. So the rest of them we will be using dimensionals. So let's take this one and make sure that we get those dimensionals right in the corners and then on the middle part of the frame as well. We want to give it enough stability so that when it is sent through the mail, it keeps the integrity of the card, right? Okay, now once again, before you stick this down, make sure that you have it exactly the way it's supposed to be, according to the design of your paper. Now we're going to show you another technique as well that you can add some additional backgrounds, but I think this is just a very quick card. You can see you're starting to get that dimension, right? Now on this next one, we're going to add 2 dimensionals on top of each other. That gives us that additional height. Now another tip that you could do is you could cut a piece of foam behind this one to give it that extra height, and then you wouldn't have to put as many dimensionals. That also works. Take the backing off of this second piece, and we are ready to put it on the card. Using DSP just makes this so fast, and just, you know, you have that vibrant color from the DSP. It makes it so nice. Once again, make sure that you have it exactly with the same design that you have laid down already. Look at that. And now finally, we cut out the center using this centerpiece right here so that we could just add it right down there. And we are just going to glue that down instead of raising it up on dimensionals so that it's recessed inside the card. Look at that. Oh my goodness. See the dimension that you have? Isn't that pretty? We're going to go ahead and lay our card down on the inside. And we are using this paper from the Dandy Garden DSP, right? And we are using our punch to punch out several of these dragonflies that we can use. Now we've already punched one out, and we are going to put him right on the inside of this. You can stamp him, of course, because you get some wonderful stamped dragonflies that you can use. But we like this extra little cutout that just makes it look so nice. And now we punched out an extra one to go ahead and put it right here on the front. And we picked up some green, some olive green. We're going to set this up on dimensionals. We just need one. Take the backing off. And we're just going to put him right here. Now, something else you could do is you could put some rhinestones right here on his body. That would also be very pretty. What do you think about this card? I think using the DSP and then the beautiful cardstock that goes with the DSP just gives you that vibrant color that you want. So we're going to go ahead and put this one right here. And we're going to bring this one in. I showed you this one early. Of course, purple's my favorite color, so I really love this one. Now we did a little something different on this one. We used some stripes so that we could make a more masculine card. A heartfelt thanks for everything. And we just added our cutout, of course. And this is using the Sailing Home stamp set. I think that's so masculine, so nice. And something else you could do is you could put a heart here, right, for Valentine's. Now look at this one. We did the same thing, but we created our own background. We used a floral set, and I'll have that listed below in the supplies. But we created our own background, stepped everything up on our frames. Now, this is the one I talked about that you could actually create some additional backgrounds. We stamped our background, but then we also framed it again. You have to use more frames on this one. We just put a frame behind each, we put a background behind each frame. Okay, that's a better way to say it. And we just layered it on top. So this is just another example of how you can use those rectangular stitched dies to create a beautiful card. Well, we hope you enjoyed this crafting session today, and we hope that you go out, be creative in your crafting, be safe, be healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.